Hi friends, today we will discuss the topic the rise of Islam in Panama, shocking facts revealed. The rise of Islam in Panama is a story not often told, a quiet yet profound religious, cultural, and demographic evolution in a country known more for its canal than for its spiritual diversity. Nestled between Central and South America, Panama stands as a bridge, both geographically and spiritually, between many worlds. The Islamic presence here, although often overlooked, is deeply rooted, historically complex, and increasingly influential. The trajectory of Islam in this tropical republic is filled with migration tales, social transformations, global connections, and an unexpected expansion that continues to surprise observers and scholars alike. This is not just a tale of mosques and minarets rising in an unfamiliar landscape, but a broader narrative of identity, resilience, and redefinition in a multicultural society. Islam in Panama can be traced back over a century, not as a dominant force but as a persistent and resilient presence. Unlike countries where Islam arrived through conquest or massive conversions, Panama's Islamic history is rooted in migration, first through enslaved Africans brought during the colonial period, many of whom practiced Islam secretly or lost it under forced Christianization, and later through waves of voluntary immigration. The first recognizable and organized Muslim communities in Panama were established by immigrants from the Indian subcontinent and the Middle East, especially in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. These early Muslims came primarily for economic opportunities, working in trade, agriculture, or the construction of the Panama Canal. They carried not only goods and services with them but also their religion, practices, and a desire to maintain their identity. One of the most shocking and least known facts is that Panama was one of the first Latin American countries to host a purpose-built mosque. The oldest registered mosque in the country, Masjid as-Salam, was established in Panama City in 1982 by a diverse group of Muslims, including Arabs, Indians, Pakistanis, and African descendants. This moment marked not just a physical structure being erected but a community's declaration that Islam was not a temporary guest in Panama. It had taken root. The mosque served as more than a place of prayer. It was a school, a center for dispute resolution, a charity hub, and most importantly, a sanctuary for those trying to preserve their identity in a largely Catholic and increasingly secular environment. Over the decades, the Muslim population in Panama has grown steadily, not through aggressive proselytization but largely due to two simultaneous dynamics: continued immigration and local conversions. People from countries such as Lebanon, Syria, Egypt, Pakistan, and India have continued to settle in Panama, bringing with them traditions that enriched the religious mosaic. Many of them became successful in business, real estate, and textiles, which not only gave them financial stability but also social visibility. With increased visibility came curiosity, and with curiosity came conversions, particularly among Afro-Panamanians, who found in Islam a spiritual connection that often echoed back to the suppressed legacies of their ancestors brought from West Africa centuries ago. The conversion of Afro-Panamanians to Islam is one of the most significant developments in Panama's modern religious landscape. This phenomenon shares similarities with movements in the United States, where Islam gained popularity among African Americans in the 20th century. In Panama, many converts are drawn not only to the religious teachings of Islam but also to the sense of dignity, discipline, and community it provides. Islamic teachings on justice, self-respect, sobriety, and brotherhood have appealed strongly to segments of the population often marginalized by the broader society. What is shocking to many observers is how rapidly Islam has been growing in some of these inner communities, quietly yet consistently, often outside the purview of mainstream religious institutions or media. Language, often seen as a barrier in religious propagation, has not hindered Islam's spread in Panama. Spanish-language Qurans, pamphlets, and Islamic literature have become more accessible over the years, and dawah, invitation to Islam, efforts have become increasingly organized. Muslim converts, now fluent in both Arabic recitation and Spanish exposition, have been instrumental in translating Islamic principles into the local cultural context. Social media has also played a critical role in allowing Panamanian Muslims to connect with broader Latin American Islamic networks, participate in online sermons, and attend virtual lectures from scholars across the globe. This digital interconnectedness has made the Muslim community in Panama more informed, more united, and more confident in expressing their faith in public spaces. Yet, despite this internal growth, Muslims in Panama face several challenges. Islamophobia, though less pronounced than in Western countries, does exist. Stereotypes shaped by global media, especially post 9/11, have occasionally cast suspicion on Muslim communities. Hijab-wearing women, for instance, have faced discrimination in workplaces and schools. Misunderstandings about Sharia law, jihad, and gender roles persist in popular discourse, fueled by ignorance and lack of exposure. However, Panamanian Muslims have responded not with retreat but with outreach, organizing open mosque days, interfaith dialogues, humanitarian work, and educational workshops that demystify Islam to the general public. One surprising fact is the active role Muslim women have played in Panama's Islamic revival. Contrary to the stereotype of Muslim women being relegated to the background, in Panama, they are teachers, activists, scholars, and public speakers. Many of the conversion stories involve women who were seeking deeper meaning in life, frustrated with consumerism or social injustice, and found in Islam a disciplined path. Some women have even started businesses that align with Islamic ethics, such as halal food services, modest fashion outlets, and Islamic schools. These grassroots efforts have provided jobs, boosted awareness, and most importantly, established a new generation of Muslims who are confident, educated, and proud of their identity. Youth engagement is another remarkable element of the rise of Islam in Panama. With a growing number of second and third generation Muslims, especially from immigrant backgrounds, Islamic identity is being redefined. These young Muslims speak Spanish as their mother tongue, attend local universities, and are deeply embedded in Panamanian culture. However, they also frequent mosques, memorize Quran, attend Islamic summer camps, and participate in online debates about Islamic theology. They are building a unique synthesis of Panamanian and Islamic identity that is both respectful of local norms and committed to global Muslim values. Some of them have even gone abroad to study in Islamic universities in Saudi Arabia, Egypt, or Malaysia, and have returned to Panama to teach and lead. Panama's central location as a trade hub has also had an indirect but powerful impact on the spread of Islam. With the Panama Canal serving as a transit point for millions of people and goods, the country is exposed to diverse global influences. Among them is the rising visibility of Islam as a global faith. International trade links with Muslim-majority countries such as Turkey, Malaysia, the UAE, and Qatar have brought not only business but also cultural exchange. Muslim diplomats, investors, and tourists have all contributed to a greater visibility of Islam in public life. Halal tourism, though still nascent, is gradually growing, with restaurants and hotels starting to cater to Muslim travelers. Education remains one of the most powerful tools for sustaining the Islamic presence in Panama. A number of Islamic schools have been established, providing both secular and religious education.